The Monsters Playbook is an adventure podcast for grown-ups. It contains violence and profanity and deals with adult themes that may be uncomfortable for some listeners. Specific content warnings can be found in the episode show notes. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to the Monsters Playbook, an actual play Monster of the Week podcast that's high in fiber and an excellent source of vitamin D. That's D for drama, and fiber for, I guess, moral fiber. Anyway, this week on the cover story, the cult of Thugamon is in the crosshairs. The members and their plans may not be quite what the team was expecting, but there's only enough room in this town for one good cult, and this ain't it.
I'm John, and I play Mark Clayton.
I'm Lauren, and I play Kira and Anna Ashwood.
I'm Miah, and I play Theo Nessos.
I'm Johnny, I play literally everybody else. Let's hunt for a treasure machine. So we're going to talk about Theo's level ups because you've been hoarding experience like a little old squirrel, and it's time to spend some levels.
No, I haven't. I just didn't know what to do with them, okay? I have not been hoarding. I've just been holding them and not knowing what to do with them.
That sounds like hoarding.
Hoarding is intentional. This is like I'm trying to figure out. Whatever.
Do you store your level ups like with your dice?
It's not called hoarding, it's called intentional keeping.
So some of the level ups that I took was I have 2 level ups that allow me to erase a luck point from the Searcher playbook. I also get a +2 to any of my ratings. I improved my Manipulate Someone, so now I'm charming AF sometimes. And then the other level up that I wanted to ask you about, Johnny, is that I wanted to take a haven. And I was kind of thinking maybe making Yano's apartment Theo's haven. Does that make sense, you think?
I think it does make sense.
Okay.
What tags will your...
So I'm pretty certain that I want to take the protection spells. I'm hoping that Theo could maybe like lay those down at Yano's apartment. And then the 2 that I'm kind of stuck between that I would love your input on is, I was thinking either Armory or Oubliette.
I mean, either of them make sense. Like, obviously the fiction will twist to the numbers. That's how we do it here in the cover story zone. The bigger question is, what do you want? What makes sense for your character? What do you think? What does Theo need to succeed?
I imagine it's a place that she like escapes or like retreats to after everything that just happened with the whole like finding out that something's up with her family and like also all this really crazy backfiring magic shit. I think Theo's gonna retreat to Yano's because he feels a little like almost like the safest place aside from Mark. Like she doesn't want to like burden or bother Mark with these problems. But
kid,
would Theo like? Can you put a person like? Can Theo go in the oubliette? It says this room is isolated from every kind of monster, spirit, and magic that you know about. Anything you stash in there can't be found, can't do any magic, and can't get out.
Yes. You could go in and it would be functionally like a magical Faraday cage.
Like a panic room.
Yeah, like a panic room or like a prison.
If I can ask a clarifying question, Johnny, if Theo goes in the oubliette, is she stuck there?
It's her oubliette. If Theo puts someone else there, they are stuck there. Okay,
so then with Theo's haven at Yano's place, it's going to have protection spells and an oubliette. And that's all the level ups that I will be taking. But probably after this episode, I'll probably have another level up. Who knows?
Okay, so last time you guys had gone up against the cult, the followers of Thugamon. You were able to recruit a disillusioned former member who brought along her creation, the Princeling. You managed to reunite them and erase Thugamon's memory of the thing that had caused the cult schism, the treasure machine. The 3 of them escaped to parts unknown, and then you were also able to awaken the undying soldier, a.k.a. The glowing purple ghost, Sonoma, Docker's old girlfriend. So she's free.
But we'd have to remove like their influence on her, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And we know that the treasure machine is at the church?
Yes.
Well, if we keep Sonoma here in this circle, will she stay there?
I believe so, with the way that spell kind of works. Yes.
We have some of Sonoma's bones, if I recall. Would Theo be able to cast a tracking spell to find the rest of them? Because I was under the impression that the rest of her bones are with the treasure machine. Because her bones were split up into at least 2.
Yes. Will you roll use magic?
8.
Pick a glitch.
I think Theo's going to take 1 harm.
Okay. So yeah, you guys watch Theo sort of cast this, and it's that thing where like you can see all the color just drain from her face, and you can see all the veins and arteries standing out against her pallid skin, and she just looks weak. And yeah, you take 1 harm, and you feel really tired and hungry. That took it out of you. But you know that there is another sort of cache of remains at the Lutheran church, and there is another sort of as the crow flies. Basically, south by southeast is where the first beacon is coming from. And based on your sort of map knowledge and Sonoma herself telling you, that is the church. And then a little bit basically more due south, there is another one.
Okay, Theo will relay this to the rest. Do we want to split up or go together?
Well, in the games that I've played over the years, I was told never to split the party. So Mark laughs.
Oh, I just thought offering up maybe a more efficient way.
Anna's like, we literally split the party constantly.
This is a celebration to you.
Let's go check out that third location.
The farther south one?
Yeah, the further south one, because I would imagine that there's probably a larger congregation of people actually near the treasure machine. So maybe let's gather the bones there and then head to the final site where we suspect everything else is.
That makes sense.
I agree. Let's go.
Wow, look at us working together.
How is everybody's harm doing, by the way?
I'm okay.
I don't know if this is just Mark being Mark, but I have 3 harm.
Theo's going to use magic to heal Mark, but I'm just going to use the usual heal 1 harm, 10.
Mark's like, I'm ready to go. And he looks down and his arm is like hanging off his side.
I think Theo like wraps her fingers around your fingers, Mark, and you feel her hand go like a little bit warm. And you heal 1 harm.
Oh, thanks. That feels better.
She won't let go of your hand when we walk to the car and sit in the car.
Then we still have our giant ass group of people.
I think at that point it is getting quite late.
Because I think Tommy and Nick drove separately, but then everybody else was in the Kira's car, basically. So I think we would head to the third location.
I call shotgun.
Mark roll manipulate someone.
Oh my god.
Are you just going to let go of Theo's hand? Wow.
No, I said...
He like dislocates his arm to keep holding your hand.
my arm literally comes off.
I'm imagining like that cute healing moment. Mark like runs his fingers through your hair and then goes, I call shotgun.
12 advanced move.
Mark gets shotgun.
Okay.
If anybody wants to not let Mark get shotgun, you'll have to roll act under pressure.
Would Theo be able to roll manipulate on Mark?
To do what?
To keep holding her hand.
To not have him sit shotgun and sit next to her so that she could keep holding his hand?
This is a very dire situation.
Yes.
I think first roll act under pressure. He was very convincing.
12.
Okay. Now roll manipulate someone.
6. I think like Theo goes, no, Mark, but like stops herself, lets him go.
Well, then Anna might actually walk up next to you and be like, I can hold your hand.
I have a boyfriend.
It's not like that. It's just...
And she walks away.
Friends hold hands.
Besides, I have a date with Lowry.
I might have a boyfriend too.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. Mark likes to keep lookout. It's totally fine.
All right. Well, do I get to sit next to you at least so we can play Jello?
Play what?
Have you never played Jello?
What's Jello?
Oh, Theo.
Oh my God.
Also, I don't know what Jello is.
I have
It's
absolutely
Miah.
no idea what Jello is. What the hell is Jello?
It's a game that you play in the back seat where every time that you turn a certain direction, you go and you like basically bumper car into the person next to you and squish them.
It is a game that you play in
As
the
a
back
child.
seat when you are a child or babysitting children.
I mean, we just did that to be dicks, but I didn't know there was a name for it.
Oh yeah, it's called Jello.
I'm kind of drained. So that sounds like it might hurt.
Okay, fine.
We could play like the license plate game or I Spy.
Ooh. Let's play I Spy.
All right.
All right, we have to act this all out now.
I do want for Theo and Anna to, as you guys are driving south, to roll plus sharp.
7.
11.
Anna, you are not very good at the license plate game.
We're not playing license plate.
We're playing
game. We're
I
Spy.
Exactly.
I'm not good at looking.
Theo is kicking your ass, basically getting every single one on one guess,
Sounds about right.
whereas you are getting hint after hint.
Is it an animal, a vegetable, or a mineral?
No, that's 20 questions.
Well,
Do you want to play 20 questions?
no.
We can play 20 questions instead. I love that game. I'm thinking of a food.
Broccoli.
No.
Pasta.
No.
I don't know how to play 20 questions.
It is not played with pure guesses.
Try just like a broader category and like narrowing it down.
Is it a vegetable?
No.
Is it a carb?
No.
Is it a protein?
No.
Is it a fat?
No.
But it's food.
Yeah, but you asked me if it was a vegetable and I said no.
But
What's the opposite of a vegetable, Anna?
a fruit?
Yes.
Is it a banana?
No.
Is it a berry?
No.
You seemed unsure. Is it an apple?
No.
Is it on a tree?
Yes.
Is it an orange?
Yes.
Hey!
No, it's your turn.
Oh, fuck this.
So you follow the sort of beacon/tracking spell that Theo has been leading you on when she's not stumping Anna in 20 questions or I Spy or whatever she could figure out the rules to. It leads you to a strip mall, and specifically to the Supermoon Buffet.
Can you describe the supermoon?
I sure can. It has a giant yellow awning in front of it and blue text just saying supermoon. It has like a crescent moon with sort of clouds over and under it. And in front of it are some ostentatious stone dragons, real old style Chinese dragons that look like lions with the big mouths and wide heads. It is closed, but
What time is it?
I think right now it's like 9:30 or 10.
Why do you think Sonoma's bones would be here?
Secret menu?
Oh, don't.
Ew.
Yano. Yano. Just gonna get everybody looks at Yano like, what the fuck?
It's joke.
Can Kira investigate a mystery?
Sure.
I think she might take out her phone and start doing some quick Google searching and see what she can find out about this establishment.
Okay.
She rolled a 10. So I think she would want to know, like, who owns this establishment?
Owned and managed, well, it's owned by a man named Declan Brennan. And from what you can kind of see from your Googles, he owns a couple of lunch spots of various banners and has other people sort of manage and run them for him. This one was his first. And yeah, he's got a paltry empire of 4 or 5 properties that sort of rotates in and out as they open and close.
Okay, so then I think with my second question, she might look up Declan specifically and see like if his name pops up anywhere else. Specifically, I'm wondering if she could like cross-reference it with the church and see like if there's any like notable members or people of the church and see if there's a connection there.
So with that, looking up him specifically, you will see that there is a notice in like the online version of the church bulletin. Yeah, maybe a month or 2 ago, they were doing a fundraiser, a community organized fundraiser for him that one of our flock had fallen on hard times. His house was foreclosed upon recently.
Was he like a new member of the church, or is he?
Oh, no.
He's been there for a while. Okay.
Oh, yes. I think there would probably be a note in there about as thanks for his years of service to our community.
Let's pull together for
Exactly. He's done so much for us. Now it's time to be there for him.
Could I ask, Johnny, is there store hours listed on the outside? Like, when does it close and open?
7 days a week, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m.
So it closed just a little bit ago.
Yeah. Could Theo read a bad situation and open up her third eye and see if there's anything magical going on with the store or these dragons?
I was going to say, does Mark see anything too?
Both of you roll read a bad situation.
8.
Ditto. 8.
Mark asked 1 question, Theo asked 2.
What is something we're missing here?
So with that question, between your spirit sense and Theo's continuing lock on the bones, there are about a half a dozen people inside. There's also one person sort of apart from them, as though like in a separate area of the restaurant. That other person has the bones on their person. So that's something that's being hid. Someone is literally carrying them.
And that's the other set of bones, or is that
one of the three?
Yeah, because we have the bulk of them, but there's a few. It sounds like there's a few at the church, and then there's one here.
I think specifically it's her left hand and her skull.
That are here, or we have?
That's missing from what you have.
Are the statues magical or hiding something?
I mean, yes. Especially if you're looking a little bit closely, you would recognize on sight that they are made of animate stone. They are constructs that can be turned on.
Like gargoyles.
What's our best way in without being noticed?
Mark has some options.
And then do I see anything invisible?
No.
Mark, do you want to maybe teleport to that person who has some of Sonoma's bones and bring them back here?
what? You want me to just teleport in there?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
I mean, and alert everyone?
Well, just poof in and poof out. Haven't you? You did that before.
Yeah, but I usually bring the person with me. You want?
Yeah, I want you to bring the person or the bones.
Okay.
I mean, do you think you could do that?
I mean, yeah, I just...
Of note, and you would know this, Mark, this will be more difficult because you would be poofing to a place you've never seen before. So you don't know where it properly is in this world or in there. So it will be a roll, no matter what, whether you bring someone with you or not. And if you bring someone with you, I will penalize the roll.
Or he could just like walk through the wall. Maybe that would be easier, and then he could poof out.
I don't exactly know where I'm going. I can't just jump in there.
Johnny, would Theo be able to look and show Mark, and would that help? Would that give maybe a +1 to John's roll?
Out of character, I'm all for walking through the wall, but I haven't gotten there in the conversation yet.
Mark is still on teleporting.
And then I think Anna might speak up and be like, well, can't you just like walk through walls or some shit? Like, maybe just do that if you're worried about poofing somewhere you're not supposed to poof.
Don't call it that.
Don't you call it poofing?
Everybody else, I just want to point out that as you guys are talking about all the different ways Mark can get in there, Catrell is staring at him with wide, sparkling eyes and whispering, "So cool."
Oh my God.
I mean, yeah, you're not wrong.
I mean, which would you prefer to do?
Where are you guys having this conversation?
I think in the car.
In the car, a couple blocks away.
And how did you investigate those dragons, Theo? Hold it!
I think Mark exhales. Okay, I'll walk through the wall. I'll be right back. If you see anybody, use my Skynet. And then Mark taps his head as it connects with everybody.
1 second. Before you go, Mark, Anna's going to do something for you.
I think Mark's about to get out of the vehicle. And,
Hold on a second. He yanks you back.
like fall down.
We gotta keep you safe, bud. I think Anna might take some time to do one of her abjuration glyphs abjuration effects on Mark before he heads in. Anna's gonna start kind of tracing some, I think, like rune symbols in the air around Mark and start saying and muttering just some words. And she's going to take some time to surround Mark in a magical field that reduces all the harm from the next hit they take to 0 harm. So in case something goes horribly wrong, you should be okay, at least for a little bit.
You just whispered a bunch of words. What did you do to me?
I made you indestructible for 1 hit.
What does 1 hit mean?
I think she's gonna mime like if somebody like punches you or like shoots a gun at you, nothing will happen, but only 1 time. You've got 1
free hit.
Yes.
Thank you.
1 free hit.
For the doing of that, I want Mark to roll act under pressure and Anna to roll help out.
For the abjuration?
For reasons that I do not care to disclose.
Okay.
Mark rolled an 11.
Anna rolled a 10.
You see somebody walk out clearly with a blue shirt that matches the blue of the text on the awning and a apron thrown over their shoulder. They walk past you and towards their car. They do not notice you. They get in their car and they drive away.
Is that the person that has the bone on them?
It is not.
Okay.
Damn it.
All right, Mark. I think now's your time.
All right, I can do this. One hit.
Well, just try not to get hit, but in case you do, you have a little bit of protection.
Mark steps out of the car and gets hit by a bus.
Can Theo grab Mark before he leaves the car?
Yes.
Hey, wait. Theo grabs your arm and pulls you back. Be careful. She'll kiss you and turn red.
I'll be fine. You're a little red. Are you okay? I think Mark laughs and then kisses you and then goes.
All right, but we're totally gonna spy on him while he's in there, right?
I can't.
We should do it.
Theo's eyes go gray.
So as I'm walking up to this building, are there any shrubs or anything like that I can blend in with or walk through?
Not really. Like I said, you're kind of basically just in a parking lot.
Okay.
Yeah, there is grass, I guess. There's trees, but not near the entrance of this. They're sort of over by the master pool and spa.
Does when I go incorporeal, does it obscure me a little bit?
Not very much. So, and I think the other thing that will be the case is that you will have to cross in front of this.
What's he gonna do? He's gonna walk up to this place just kind of casually, but also like try to keep out of sight a little bit. Does he notice any immediate threats? Anybody walking out outside of the guy that already walked by? Also, did we notice anything of interest on that guy?
Roll read a bad situation.
12.
I will just tell you beyond a shadow of a doubt, that person that walked by was just like the first person on the closing shift to get cut. They looked tired. They looked kind of youngish, early 20s, and they were just going home for the night. They were just somebody.
For the record, Johnny, I did roll magic to observe John, and I rolled an 8. No, I rolled a 7.
Okay, so you want to basically observe Mark.
And the glitch that I was going to take is that there is a problematic side effect.
Mark is going up to the window, and he's going to look around the edge of the window, just take a quick look to see if anyone is immediately in the room.
Okay, roll read a bad situation.
I rolled a 9.
It seems like a lot of what's going on is in the back. Like you can sort of tell and maybe even hear a good amount of activity, clanking of dishes and pots and pans. There's obviously a lot of cleaning up going on. There are also, though, 1 or 2 people finishing up, like sweeping the floors and washing the tables. But you think that if you can time it right, you could sneak by while their back is to you. They do seem to take the same pattern of going all the way around a table before going to the next one.
You can see their walking paths like in your video game.
We have one way of interacting with the world.
Is there like a residual kind of spirit energy coming off of these bones that I'd be able to track where this thing is?
Yes.
And that's what I assume that is past where they are.
Yes, well past. So like all of this activity appears to be happening in like what would be considered the restaurant proper. I think to sort of situate us in space, because of the way that the parking lot is laid out in real life, it makes sense for you to be coming essentially from the right of the door. You are walking along the side of the restaurant is on your right side. Mm-hmm. You're creeping up to the door.
Yep, that makes sense.
This other energy signature is like looking at the restaurant. It's far to the left. Like maybe there's an office there or something.
So I have to kind of cut across. Okay.
Yeah, you'll have to cut across and then go around to like the highway side of the building. And then through there will get you to your quarry.
All right. I think I'm going to go incorporeal, try to get under one of these tables, like in this restaurant to like hide for a moment. Like when I come in, there's probably like booths around the outside. Is that what I'm guessing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yeah, I would like go in, wait until their backs are turned, and I think they're going to continue and like try and get under one of these tables so that I can like hide a little bit in the dark. How light is it in here? Is it just like dim lighting and stuff, or is it?
Yeah, it's probably like 30% as bright as it likely is when it's open. You know how restaurants get like that when they're closed? Like they shut off the main fluorescence, but there's still like side lights. And of course, the terrifyingly bright light coming from the kitchen.
So yeah, Mark does that, and then he tries not to hit his head on the table.
Which wouldn't be a problem anyway, because you're incorporeal. Mark, roll act under pressure. Theo, also roll act under pressure.
9.
8.
And Mark also got a mixed success. Interesting.
Things are kind of happening.
Is there anything with Theo that was happening that like Kira could help out with?
Kira, roll read a bad situation. Something's off about Mark. You don't remember his jacket being that color when he left the car.
Okay. I think Kira might speak out over Skynet and be like, Mark, what's going on with your jacket?
What do you mean, what's going on with my jacket?
Here's how I'm going to make the consequences of all of this kind of roll out. Mark, when you get that message, you take a look around. You stash yourself underneath a booth. You take a look at your jacket. Even though you're underneath a booth and you're incorporeal, it appears like it's illuminated by like a purple light. And you look towards where the purple light is coming from. And you can see a very faint outline of Theo following you around.
Oops.
Is it bright enough to catch attention of somebody?
Likely. It's a dim, light up human shape.
I think in my head, Theo, what are you doing? You're going to get me caught.
Theo, Mark knows what you're doing.
I'm just keeping an eye out for you. What?
Well, your eye is going to illuminate me. I'm hiding under a table.
What are you talking about?
I saw some sort of purple jacket. It's like glowing.
My jacket is purple. My jacket is glowing. I'm like a beacon.
I think maybe it's your spell?
Well, it's never done that before.
What? When does magic behave normally?
Ouch. Fine, okay.
I didn't say your magic. I said when does magic?
Theo will dispel the spell.
So, Mark, you are frantically trying to explain to Theo what is happening and why it's not great.
I think Mark is taking off his jacket and like holding it, trying to like protect the light so it doesn't show.
Well, then the light is reflecting off of just your shirt.
Theo dispels the spell.
Yeah, so the person who is washing the table sort of closest to you, like, stands up as though surprised or curious, perhaps, and turns around just in time for the light to go dim, the projection of Theo to disappear, and for you to be well, yes, indeed, well enough concealed underneath this booth.
I think Mark sees this and holds his breath for a short moment. He's like,
Roll act under pressure.
Oh my god.
7.
Mark goes audibly,
Oh.
Jesus Christ.
and the person's like, what in the? And just like,
Mark goes incorporeal and rolls back into the chair.
rag and spray bottle in hand, this person just sort of saunters over to the booth, and then you can just see their 2 legs standing, parents from Muppet Babies style, next to this booth, and they're just kind of looking around. And you want to like incorporeal roll into the...
Yeah, I'm like inside the back chair of the booth, like inside
the
the
booth
booth
or something. Yeah.
Yeah, like in the wood structure or whatever. I'm just like plastered in there.
Yeah, I think that I would allow to just happen. Person kind of looks around, sort of saunter back to the next table and go, I either need to drink way less or way more, and resume cleaning the tables.
Is there anything of interest inside of the...
Inside here, I think you are honestly surprised to note that inside it is completely hollow. Like in some sort of childhood corner of your brain, you still somehow imagine that the inside of booth benches was a solid block of wood. But of course it isn't. That's not efficient.
This is all going through my head as I'm infiltrating this place.
Just like, I always expected that this would be a solid block of wood, but now that I think about it as an adult man, that doesn't make any sense. It would be entirely too expensive for a strip mall buffet.
Mark is going to slowly stick his head out of the side of this chair and just inspect to see if they have moved on.
They have. And I think the other thing that's happened is, so like you are headed sort of towards this back room where this other person is.
Yes.
The person cleaning the tables has gone off in the other direction. And then on the other side of them, someone has started a vacuum cleaner.
Right when the vacuum cleaner starts, I think Mark's going to try and make his move.
Okay. Roll act under pressure and do not miss.
As he does that, oh, this is a bad idea. Is there like a cup of mints or something like that on the entrance in the entrance
there
area?
100% is.
I'm going to start it on fire.
Roll use magic. Why are you making that face, Mark Clayton? Did something happen?
Oh no. I rolled double 1.
No!
No.
Oh no!
No!
Oh no!
Oh no. All of a sudden the kitchen is just... We're outside and we're like, Mark is doing pretty well.
I imagine Mark running and he like trips over a bucket of water or something as he's doing this spell.
That makes a ton of sense, actually. You come out from underneath this booth, you run towards the door, and then turn around over your shoulder, hold out a hand to direct fire towards the bowl of mints, not realizing that there
Why were you
is-
putting mints on fire?
Because I thought it was going to be contained in a little like metal bowl.
Not realizing that there is a push broom leaned against one of the tables, which you fully trip over, and your extended hand spins up 90 degrees, and you launch that small fireball directly at the ceiling. And it hits one of the fluorescent light bulbs, which explodes in sparks and fumes and noise. And the person washing the tables goes, what? And the vacuum shuts off, and 2 heads peek out from the big window to the kitchen, and they are all looking right at you.
Is that person that you need to get the bone from anywhere inside you?
Nope, they are down a hall.
Okay, I think.
Beyond at least one closed door.
Do we hear this explosion from the car?
I need a moment. God damn.
You at least see it. There is a flash of light inside. I think from as far away as you are, all you'll be able to see is the flash of light, and then it's slightly dimmer inside than it was before.
Did anyone actually see me do that?
They didn't see you do it.
Okay.
They see you now.
What the hell was that?
Mark, roll manipulate someone.
I think in the moment he's like literally, what the hell was that? like to himself, like what the hell?
Roll manipulate someone to sell this lie.
Oh my god. I think meanwhile Kira like exchanges a look with like Tommy or somebody and is just like I'm like, we might need to go in.
I got a 5. Fuck these dice.
Oh no, yeah. We're headed towards the building just in case.
The person who turned off the vacuum cleaner is going to come striding very quickly in and point at the kitchen and go, Juan, call the cops.
No, wait.
And then come and stand over you and like move as if to grab you physically.
Do I sense the bones anywhere at this point?
Basically, as you're facing this dude, behind you, not moving.
No, wait. And then I think Mark is going to... Wait, are these are just workers?
Presumably, yeah.
He's gonna reach it down and like grab you by your shoulders and stand you up and hold you there, unless you don't let him. Well, I love this. Why am I the way that I am? Can I use my telepathy to place
A thought in their mind?
a thought in their mind to blind them from where like what's happening currently? It's almost like a flashbang memory, and my mind immediately went to when was it Kira and I walked in on that guy
In Duluth? Yeah.
In the sad hotel room.
in the saddest place in the hotel. I'm just gonna flash that for a brief moment and kind of blind them with that for 2 seconds,
God.
and then and go incorporeal and back through the wall. Just confuse the hell out of them and back the hell out of there.
Mark, that will be a use magic roll. Don't know that this is necessarily a spell that you have access to, but I love it.
It's telepathy adjacent.
It's like a mind bomb, a
Yeah.
flash bang.
I think it literally says in the telepathy move you can plant thoughts and images in people's minds.
Can I have some new dice? I rolled a fucking 6.
Bud.
Mark, you are like adrift in the waking dream of being in that room in the basement of the Radisson in Duluth.
Oh no.
There keeps being a knock on the door.
Oh no.
The guy on the couch keeps looking at it panikedly and pausing the rather risque anime that he is watching.
Can Kira come to the front of the buffet?
Am I like visualizing all this?
You sure are, and you're, I think, for everyone else who's connected to Skynet can see it.
We know what's going on. Oh god.
What is this?
Oh god. I thought we were never going to speak of this again, Mark Clayton.
I literally think Mark is just like,
Oh god.
And you can't see the physical world for a couple of seconds.
Can Kira come to the front of the buffet and knock on the door?
Also, can Theo use force of will to dispel whatever Mark is projecting? Because I can dispel a magical effect.
I think that makes sense. Why don't you roll that?
7.
Okay, so Mark, the good news is you are no longer wandering through the most depressing room. The bad news, your last experience of that room is that something sort of pushed you backwards and into that closet that had been in there. And as the doors slammed shut, your vision is replaced instead with the interior of the supermoon buffet that you are standing in front of. You are face to face with a maybe 34-year-old guy who has a real wispy beard and a real sketchy kind of energy. And he is pinning you against a wall with a 5-foot-long push broom. and sort of like frantically keeping you there and calling back to Juan. You got the cops on the horn?
Well, unless you've got something planned, Kira was going to maybe come in and try to like be like, oh my God, my brother, you found him.
Oh my God.
But if you've got something planned, I want to see where this goes.
Yeah, while Kira's doing that and going to the front, can Theo and Yano like go to the back, specifically where the bones are? Like, I kind of want to go to the other side of the wall of wherever that person is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kira's like knocking on the door, like trying to be like, hello? Hello, is anybody there? I'm looking for my brother.
I think Mark's gonna go for a low blow and like knee him.
Oh, Mark!
Mark,
Do it.
roll kick some ass.
So this is going to happen, and then I'm going to try to run to a place where I can't be seen for a brief moment so that I can teleport the fuck out of there.
Okay.
12.
So there's a knock on the door.
Mark?
The guy who has you pinned throws his head over his shoulder and says to the guy who was cleaning the tables, Kenny, get the fucking door. That guy nods and runs to the door, and before he turns his face back around to you, Mark, you knee him in the balls. Excuse me. This is an adult classy podcast. You knee him in the crotch. And all he can squeak out is
And I whisper, I'm sorry.
drops the broom, stumbles back, one hand on his crotch, another seeking for a table to lean on. He doesn't find it. He falls on his ass. Now, Mark, to run and dive.
I'm going to run to the kitchen.
The kitchen?
Or the
Roll act under pressure.
10.
You run into the kitchen where you see a partly cleaned up restaurant's kitchen. Both the drying rack and the industrial sized sink are filled with dishes. And you can see from behind, somewhat overweight Chinese man on the phone, not looking at you. So with the 10, you run into the kitchen and no one can see you right now.
And I don't clock where these bones are.
The bones are sort of further off from the restaurant proper in like a somewhat separate wing of this building. Like there's a hallway sort of leading off in the direction of the highway, down which there's a room from which you got the energy signature of the bones.
Okay. Is this guy made contact on the phone yet? Is he talking to someone or is he waiting?
Or is he coming to get the door?
Roll read a bad situation.
8.
Yeah, he's just going, yes. Police. Kira, the guy comes up to the door and says just through the glass, we're closed.
I think my brother maybe came in here.
No dinner, no din, no more din.
Kira's gonna use mental dominion.
All right. Roll it.
Jesus.
This place is getting destroyed.
She rolled an 11.
Okay, tell him what to do.
My brother came in here. It's all been a mistake, a misunderstanding.
I'll tell the police it's a misunderstanding.
Tell your friend that this was a misunderstanding. He can hang up the phone.
He will lean back and go, and you will hear this too, Mark. Hey Juan, don't get us in trouble for a fake 911 thing. This is a misunderstanding. He's just somebody's brother.
He's not well.
I will say, you see, Mark, this guy on the phone, like turning, looking out the kitchen window, gesturing towards the phone, frustrated, like with that kind of pose of, what the hell do you want me to do? What's going to happen now, Mark?
Initially, I was thinking of scaring this guy into thinking this, like he's just seeing something or whatever, to run from it. And to make it seem, when he explains this to the police, that this was just some wild, crazy person. So I was going to try, you like playing with fire?
Oh, God.
Turn around. Glasses off, just in his face.
Is that what you want to do, Mark?
Is it what I want to do? That's what popped into my head.
You do you, Mark Clayton.
It depends on what the objective of the game is.
Kira's sitting here like, my brother, he's not well. And then Mark's fucking fire. Just completely changes the tactic.
I also want to know if Theo and Yano made it to wherever this guy is located, but on the outside.
Yes, Theo, I was going to have you roll act under pressure for the speed of that.
That's a 10 for Theo.
You're there. You are sure that you are at the wall. Honestly, I think with a 10.
I'm also curious how close he is to the wall.
So here's what you can see. There is a window on this side of the building. You sort of peek your head up and you can tell this room that you are looking at is some kind of office, and it is empty. In the room on the other side of this room is where he is.
Okay. Theo would turn to Yano. Do you know how to break into windows or like open locked windows?
Are we doing a crime?
Kind of the opposite, considering that we're trying to help someone.
Correct answer. I want you to roll act under pressure on his behalf.
10.
What he actually will wind up doing is cracking some aspect of the Windows mechanism. So the window doesn't properly break, but he is able to shove it up high enough. I honestly think only high enough for you to get in.
I was going to say, Theo's going to ask him to help her up and through the window.
100%. He'll make a step of his hands.
Inside, he said he's in the next room over.
Yeah, you drop down into basically the somewhat disheveled restaurant office. There's receipts and folders and such, and a phone and a little laptop. Yeah, you can tell that on the wall to your right, there is a door that leads out. On the other side of the wall that's straight ahead of you, there is this energy signature of these remains.
Oh, okay. But there's no door to that room in this room?
No.
Okay. Is there a hallway like to my left?
To your right, yes.
Oh, it's to my right. Would I be able to crack open this door and check and see if anyone's in the hallway?
Yes, roll read about situation.
10.
So you look down this hallway. You can see as it goes down, there's another door on the left side of it and another door on the right side of the hallway. Then it opens out into, with one of those doors that has like much of it is just glass. And you can see through that the feet of someone rolling around in pain on the ground.
Okay.
I'm going to pause you right there because I need to know so bad what Mark is doing.
Mark did the fire thing to scare this guy.
I want you to roll use magic.
I did roll for that. I rolled use magic. I rolled a 10.
Tell me what you want to make yourself look like.
The vision that I had of the person that I became.
From like the hallway time?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let me describe that for the listeners. Yeah, your skin will change to be like a purplish gray with cracks coming out from your fire eyes and also up from like on your neck and scalp. I think you grow a full 4 inches and you have, based on how you're doing this, what appears to be wings composed entirely of living fire. And you rear up and you speak directly into his mind.
You like playing with fire?
This guy slowly turns around and he sees you. Appears to happen slowly, but it's the space of like a second or two where his eyes go wide and his mouth opens as if to scream, but no sound comes out. He drops the phone and vaults over the window into the restaurant. Kira, you see a middle-aged Chinese man running towards you, pushing the guy in front of the door aside, who's still saying, it's just a misunderstanding, it's somebody's brother. He frantically unlocks the door, looking behind him as though wondering if something is chasing him, throws it open, pushes you aside as well, and just tears off into the parking lot, into the night.
I think Kira looks at the other one that's like probably like, what the fuck's going on? And she goes, go home. And then she's just gonna like hold the door as if to like let him walk out.
Let go.
Yeah.
He is going to, casual as you please, walk into the kitchen, walk past terrifying Mark, open up a locker on the other side of the kitchen, pull out a backpack, fish inside it for some keys, heft it over his shoulder, and then just walk out. And then as he walks past you, Kira, he's going to go, peace. All the while, the dude on the ground is going, where are you going? What are you doing?
Oh, there's 3 guys? I thought there was only 2. I'm so confused.
No, there's the guy that I need in the crotch on the ground.
Yeah.
Theo, what's your move?
If I remember and understand correctly, the door on the left leads to the room that's next door?
Yep.
Okay, I'd like to sneak to that door. Is that door open or closed?
It is closed.
Can I carefully try the handle?
Roll act under pressure.
11.
So you slowly click it open. It is not locked. It opens out just a crack into the hall, and you can see inside, it's set up like a really packed studio apartment. In one corner, there is a sleeping bag. Next to that sleeping bag, there is a stack of books on top of which is a Walkman tape player. There are improvised shelves with chips and dry goods on them. And then there are a number of duffel bags just piled on top of each other in the corner. Then there is like a small, I guess, writing desk at which is sitting this sort of middle-aged guy, maybe in his 50s. Draped over the chair he's sitting in is a banana yellow button-down dress shirt. He is just wearing a white A shirt, white men's tank top, and yeah, he's just kind of hunched over and muttering.
I think Theo's going to like knock on the door, but in the kind of like more softer-ish tone, and just be like, "Excuse me, hello."
The second you knock on the door, he will stand up with such force that the chair that he's sitting on will tip over and will spin on the door and roar, "I told you not to disturb me in here."
Theo will push open the door, just opening it wider, standing. "I'm sorry, I'm just looking for some help."
Who in the hell are you?
"Well, I heard this commotion and wanted to make sure that you're okay. There's something going on in the front of your restaurant."
Yeah, someone's broken into it. He crosses the room and reaches into one of the duffel bags.
Do I get a sense of like where the bones are like on him, isn't it?
Yeah, roll read a bad situation real quick.
10.
You can see sort of medium thick glittering white gold chain, at the end of which is what to others would appear as like an attempt at a badass skeleton hand charm, but which you know to be the genuine skeleton hand.
Okay.
He's wearing it around his neck.
With him like digging in this duffel bag, I think he was gonna like step in the room, but then to the right, like so that her back's against the wall and not the opening, and have her hands maybe like, whoa, like I just came in here to like help.
Just in time for him to spin around and point a huge gun at you.
Well, when Theo like puts her hands up, can I use magic to try and like trap him in a force bubble? Like kind of using your hands as the gesture.
Yeah, you can do that. Roll use magic.
9.
I am going to choose the glitch here for you. You can do that, but he is... Oh, are you going to do the other thing?
I want to use ancient magics to negate this glitch, but I'll take -1 in the next roll.
Like you want to just fully make a ball of force just around him?
I'm essentially trying to make sort of like a capsule of invisible force around him to trap him in that space and keep him from harming me and harming himself.
Okay. He's not going to stop pointing the gun at you, but he will be like, "The hell are you doing in my restaurant? Why does my voice sound like this?" And start looking up and down and around like...
There just seemed to be something like strange going on, and Theo will like put her like arms down, kind of walk around to his desk and look at what he was doing.
Oh shit.
"Hey, stay away from that." And then you will hear his gun go off.
You better be careful with that.
Whoa, I think when Kira hears that, she just instantly pushes the guy that got kneed in the side and starts walking towards her. She hears the gunshot.
Yeah, I think Mark is probably heard that too and is running. Could that guy only see me as that, or am I that character right now?
Either up to you or you're that.
I'll stay that for a second.
What do I see on his desk?
Well, you roll investigative mystery.
6.
Okay. You can't tell. There's some things that look like maybe they're letters, some things that look like they're maybe journals, some things that look like they're maybe doodles, or they're written in another language. It's just weird. And you turn around to tell him, "You should be careful in there." But in the place of the man who fired the gun, there is now standing a 7.5-foot werewolf.
Oh. Johnny.
I'm Johnny.
May Theo grab these notes and scribblings and journals and put them into her knapsack?
Roll act under pressure.
10.
So yeah, you just like set it at the edge of this desk and just slide it all in.
He still has the bone on him though, right?
Yes.
Kira was running towards where she heard the gunshot.
Mark is following.
It won't take you guys that long. It's not that far to run. You guys see the slightly ajar door, throw it open, and you see gently spinning vortex of pure force holding back a large werewolf wearing a white tank top and sensible pants. And you see Theo shoving stuff into her bag.
What's this werewolf?
Mark?
I think Kira looks at you as like, you want to ask her what's going on?
What's
What?
with your
Oh.
everything?
So, Mark turns around and like cleans himself up. Back to normal. And then spins around. I had to scare somebody. I'm sorry.
Do we have the bone?
Theo's gonna point at the encapsulated werewolf. He's wearing it, but he turned into a werewolf.
Sir, would you give us the bone, please? please.
I presume you're done gnawing on it.
Johnny, would you consider lycanthropy a curse or a phenomenon?
Not in this case, no.
Come on, but just we could get violent here, or you could give us the bone and we'll leave your restaurant and never see you again. And you don't want us to get violent.
He's gonna like look around, tap his foot cautiously.
I promise you that we won't hurt you, unless you hurt us.
Because then we'll kill you.
Mark,
Sorry.
we don't kill people.
Sorry. I'm getting better at this, okay?
I think he's gonna like crouch as if to gather himself, hop into the air.
He can't really hop into the air because he's in cap. I mean, I'm imagining it's like kind of narrow. It's
Yeah, I
not a
know.
lot of wiggle room. Okay.
Well, what he's going to do is basically bring
He's trying to go through the floor.
all of his force as that he can up and slam it down into the floor, which will dent and crack but not break. But then he's going to do it again.
Electrify the bubble.
Tase him.
Yeah, essentially tase him.
Roll use magic.
8.
Pick a glitch.
I'm gonna use ancient magics again.
Give us the bone.
I really don't want to hurt you.
We have dates to go on.
Kira is literally reaching out of the game. Johnny, give us the bone.
Mental dominion on you. Actually, could Kira use mental dominion on this werewolf?
No,
Why? He's a monster.
exactly. Mental dominion works on ordinary people.
Oh, I mean Dark Negotiator, sorry.
Oh, well,
Oh,
that,
this
yes.
other one that I have.
Yeah. The other mind
The
thing.
other one.
So you do that. So the whole thing lights up, and you can see the electricity strike and course through him. You can see him grit his teeth, glare at you, and bring his fist up and down.
Kira is gonna try to get this guy's attention. As I said before, you really don't want us to get violent, and she's gonna pop out her wings. I suggest you give us the bone before we break yours. And she's gonna use Dark Negotiator.
Oh shit.
Roll it.
11. Also, we have a werewolf too. Imagine Tommy just walks up. Yeah.
Of note, Tommy does not show up. Just throwing that out there.
What do you mean?
Don't worry about it.
No.
Johnny!
What?
No.
So, teeth gritted, the ground beneath him cracked and splintered. You watch his muscles shrink, the hair get pulled back into him, and you see him slowly transform back into a somewhat pudgy, middle-aged man. And he goes, "What the hell? The whole dream's dead anyway." And he takes the necklace off. You mind turning off the lava lamp?
Do you mind not shooting us again?
Sure. Kira's gonna have her axe and be like, go ahead and drop it, Theo.
He'll take his gun and hold it up for you to see and shove it into the back of his belt and hold up his empty hand.
You forgot to put the safety on.
He reaches behind him. You hear a light click, and he holds up his empty hand again.
You don't have any other weapons on yourself besides yourself?
I just wanted to get this over with so you guys get the hell out of my restaurant.
Likewise, Kira holds out their hand to have him hand over the thing.
Theo will wave her hand and drop the force field.
He'll hold it out to you, kind of be like, "I hope it brings you all the good luck it brought us."
Theo will lead you guys to the window that she had came through. Yano still there?
Nope.
What? Yano.
Read a bed. I want to read a bad situation. What's going on?
Bro, read a bad situation.
Can I help?
Yes.
12. Advance move.
I rolled doesn't matter. I rolled an 8. It's a 12. Also advanced move.
Wait. No, it's an 11.
Miah!
I'm sorry. I had the -1.
It's okay. So then it's just a 9. Changes completely.
It sure does. Ask one question.
Could I ask where they went?
Out front of the buffet.
Okay. Go head out to get a look and see what they're doing. Waiting for you to start.
I know.
Clap, long pause.
Trying to get the nerve.
And just say what's there, Miah. Say, Happy New Year!
Happy New Year, everyone. Happy 2024. We're recording this in the past. But I hope that the new year is starting out good. We have a few announcements and a few reminders before coming back to the episode.
So we have a couple of things coming your way. First of all, our patrons have some brand new content that's going to be coming very soon. In 1 week, we have a new episode of Docker's Highlights, as well as the first episode of our new mini-series, House of Graves. We just dropped a teaser for that over on our Patreon feed, so be sure to tune into that starting January 9th. And then we have our next episode of The Cover Story, which will be available in 2 weeks from now on January 16th. Miah, you have some reminders?
If you like us...
do you like us?
Leaving us a rating and review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your listening platform of choice really helps us out. And telling your friends. Word of mouth is the best way to get our show noticed. Follow us on social media, please. We're on Twitter at Monster Playbook. We are also on Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr, and Blue Sky Social as Monsters Playbook. Join our Discord. It's cool. It's awesome. We share pictures. We have listening parties. So much fun. And if you're able to support us monetarily, you can subscribe to our Patreon. We also have a merch store and a Ko-fi page. Links to all of these things and more can be found in our Direct Me profile in this episode's show notes.
This week's promo is for a podcast across the pond, Deck of Many Aces. They are a UK family-friendly D&D actual play podcast, say that 5 times fast, with a diverse cast of asexuals. The podcast follows 4 heroes as they adventure through a fantasy world on the cusp of a technological revolution augmented by magic. What makes this podcast unique is that each character's fate is tied to one of the 22 cards in the Deck of Many Things, a sort of magical D&D specific tarot deck. Hey, we kind of know somebody who's taken inspiration from tarot cards in the past.
Yeah.
Let's listen to their promo to find out more.
Welcome, I'm Bastet. I'll be running your operation. The project's official name is the Adventurers Research of Abnormal Civilian Experiences, or Project Arrowace for short, to investigate the unusual occurrences that have been happening everywhere recently. I've hired you all for your indisputable military prowess.
I'm going to be honest, I think we should run.
Your academic expertise.
I don't know, I'm not a wizard in real life.
And your hands-on experiences.
Tentacles belong in the ocean!
I also lost all my food, so Delphi, in a few hours you might start looking really delicious.
Okay. Can everyone please roll for initiative?
Oh, I nearly cussed so hard.
Deck of Many Aces is an actual play podcast made by an all-aromantic and asexual cast and crew. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, or wherever else you listen to podcasts, releasing every other Friday. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Deck of Many Aces.
You can find out more about Deck of Many Aces on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Deck of Many Aces, or on their Acast website, or in this episode show notes.
All right. What are we going back to, Miah? Is it going to be fine? Are we going to be good?
We gotta
dealing with
save
cults?
Sonoma. We gotta save Docker's girlfriend.
Let's go get our stoner girl.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
So you climb out the window.
Yeah.
And you go to look at the front of the buffet, and you can see a wolfed out Tommy. You can see his breath huffing and puffing. You can see Nick walking around and picking up spent crossbow bolts. Yano basically rocking back and forth and then pulling a giant axe out of one of the dragons that were out front.
Okay.
Oh, great. I think Kira runs over to Tommy. He's like, what the fuck happened?
I don't know that he's talked in his wolf form before or if he has a weird voice, but he's like breathing heavily. They woke up.
You guys okay? Do they look okay?
They look a little worse for the wear. They got into a fight with some...
Kira would heal Tommy.
Oh, gosh.
Theo would slap Yano on the shoulder. Why did you leave?
More important work.
Well, I thought something happened to you.
Something did. He gestures to the dragons on the ground.
Theo will also heal Yano.
Kira with the 12 advanced move to heal Tommy.
Nick picks up another crossbow bolt and stuffs it into a pouch on his belt and goes, must be nice.
I think Anna just like slaps him on the shoulder. Maybe we'll heal him and be like, isn't it?
All right, all three of you then roll that.
So yeah, Kira rolled a 12 advanced move. Anna rolled a 10. She's just going to heal him for 1 or whatever, and then Kira will do her life drain thing.
Theo heals Yano for 3. She rolled a 10.
Okay, we have the bone. Let's get the fuck out of here. Let's go get that other bone.
Yeah. Shotgun.
Who's driving?
It's Kira's car, so Kira would drive.
Kira, roll act under pressure.
That's a 14 advanced move to act under pressure.
So, okay, you guys all pile back in and get on the highway just in time to see a couple of police cruisers with their lights on get off the highway and head down back the way you came.
For the record, sorry that you guys had to witness my thoughts.
Yeah, Mark, I thought we were never going to talk about that.
Yeah, I don't know what happened back there, but we're here now. And
you remembered that in pretty exquisite detail.
I don't want to think about it anymore because I had to have a spell to get me away from it. But but
it was cartoons that one can masturbate to.
Yes.
Very strange.
Very strange, indeed.
We're not talking about this ever.
All right, Kira's booking it to the church.
So we're going to the now northeast.
Yes.
The church.
Yes.
From here, yes. Nearby. You all pull up into the church parking lot.
I do feel like along the way, Anna's like, maybe we just try the direct approach. I feel like every time we've tried to stealth, we blow it. Every time. Speaking from personal experience.
So maybe I had the right idea of just, poofing in.
Poof.
So yes, it is well and truly night. Upstairs, there's definitely some lights on. You get the impression, though, that these are the kinds of lights inside this church that would maybe never go out. And there are, I think, a dozen cars in the parking lot already. All pretty nice. There's definitely one Tesla. There's a couple BMWs, 3 Lexi, excuse me. I've had some college.
So, weird question. Should we, burn the bones that we already have? Because if we burn these, and then we get more, the rest, and burn those.
Will it send off a signal?
Well, I'm just wondering, if these fall, I don't know, out of our hands or
You're talking about burning up my girl?
I was just going to say, I think Kira we might want to ask what she wants to do. Does she want to stake as a ghost so that she and Dockers can whatever? Or
I thought she was dead all this time and she totally is, but not all the way.
Okay, I'm sorry. Just
You want to get her kill count to 100% just like that? No.
I'm sorry, Dockers.
Let's get all the bones.
Dockers, I've got an idea.
Mark.
Let's put the bones into the spot that I keep my stone and replace it, and then it will always be safe there.
No, we can't because you already have something in there.
I know. I'm saying I'll take that out and we'll figure out what to do with it.
No, we can't take it out. That's Oscar's weird fire spirit form.
We have to figure out something with it.
We will. One thing at a time.
Man, being alive is complicated.
It really is. I propose we get all the bones, then we head back to the graveyard and we talk to Sonoma, figure out what she and Dockers want to do, and then we go from there. But let's get the other bones first.
Okay, so what is our plan of attack here then?
Walking in. Fuck.
Okay, so we're gonna walk in.
Yep.
Do you want me to blast the front doors open? I could do that.
We could just walk in. But that might scare some people off. So sure.
Honestly, that's a much better approach than what I did. just gonna put that out there. I tried to set the mint bowl on fire, and that didn't go very well.
I think Catrell says to you, Mark, I think I figured out what happened.
What?
You're supposed to maintain trajectory.
Yeah. I mean, you're right.
I am
100%. I think Mark internally is just man, Catrell is calling the shots.
She stands up just a little bit taller and goes, 100%.
I just had an idea in my head too, because I'm pretty sure you said that the way that she's dressing now is basically just how Anna would dress herself. I'm kind of imagine that Anna looks over at her and is just she's wearing the same outfit as me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looks nice, kid.
To the extent that Catrell notices, she just goes, I like your shoes.
Hey, me too. Oh, they're the same. Okay. Yeah, it looks great.
Well, I'm glad you also like your shoes.
So point of information. Where can Theo sense the location of the bones?
Roll Read a Bad Situation to tell what degree of specificity I can give you.
Can Anna assist
How?
with her spirit touch ability?
Sure.
She rolled a 7.
Cool. I guess that makes mine an 11.
Behind the like altered stage area, there's a little chamber. And in that chamber, there is a staircase leading down. Down those stairs is a somewhat larger chamber. And in that chamber is the last piece of Sonoma's remains.
Is there a door in the back?
There are a couple of ways in. There's no door in the back.
What is the best way in?
Yeah, what is the best way in?
Do you have more questions?
The front. That is the last question. Anna, since you
rolled that 7.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I'm helping.
Yeah, you are. You're gonna hear a like, hey, Rockstar. It's not gonna be a service till morning. You're a little early. Or late.
Is this from like behind me or something?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was actually, I'm not currently a member of the church, but I was thinking about maybe joining in. Thought I would swing by.
You gonna bring your whole pep squad / street gang?
I mean, if we're welcome. I heard good things about this church that you're welcoming to all. Unless I was wrong.
This dude is dressed like somewhere between security guard and janitor.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely got like a big chain going from belt to wallet. Definitely got one of those keychains that's on like a zippy string.
Mm-hmm. Yelp says that you're pretty reputable.
Oh yeah, we're reputable as heck. Roll Manipulate someone.
8.
Puts his hands on his hips. Just eyes the lot of you. So you thought you'd just bring your whole pep squad / street gang, take a look at the night scene, and then he'll cross his arms and go, how do I know you're not here to just, I don't know, case the joint?
Who would rob a church?
Well, we got a saying about that around here. One of our thou shalt nots.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything on, can I like investigate this guy as we're talking to him to see like if there's any telltale like Thugamon like type symbolism or like he had those robes or I don't know, anything like that maybe like hints that maybe this guy is in on the cult?
Roll it.
8. That's my question.
No.
There's just a guard.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's definitely not our vibe. We really wanted to just come and just bask in the glory of our Lord and Savior. These guys are with my old prayer group. I just moved to town and we've been on really hard times.
Big Nick will sort of step forward and go, yeah, we been feeling a little lost. The guard is doing that thing where he's like leans back on one foot and is very quickly tapping the heel of his other foot on the ground, sort of fussing and looking around. And he goes, well, it's just board's doing a meeting in the basement, so you can come have a look at the chapel, but you got to be quiet.
Of course. Thank you. Does he have like a name tag or something?
Gerald.
What was that?
Gerald.
Yeah, it's Gerald.
And I think Anna's like, thank you. Like clasps his hand, is like, Gerald, thank you.
He like looks down at your hands that you're shaking, looks up at you confused, then looks down where you're looking and goes, oh yeah, sure.
Does he seem like that's not his name? Why is he like confused? The fuck? Okay.
Can Theo read a bad situation with her third eye?
Sure.
7.
Ask your 2 questions.
Is there something that is off with this Gerald?
Yes. What's your second question?
Oh no.
Is there any magical barriers or it's like traps in or around the church?
You can see a number of, the way I want to describe them, and you can see them sort of through the walls at the threshold of a number of doors. And what I want to describe them as, and they're very crudely constructed, put together as though by perhaps a child in your estimation of the level of skill. This is baby's first.
Rudimentary.
Yeah. And what they are is a signal barrier, such that when someone crosses a given threshold, something else is alerted. And in the majority of cases that you can see, that something that is alerted is Gerald.
Oh.
So I have a question, because Anna had said that she would help Theo by using her spirit touch. Can she actually roll her spirit touch, like to see what's going on with this dude? Okay. 10? Yeah, so what's going on with Gerald?
Yeah, he's part of the church. Like part of the church. I think especially like when you shake his hand, it's a little firmer than flesh.
Is he a homunculus?
He's part of the church? Like was he like the church given form?
Yeah, he's like a sort of guardian created by the church.
I think Anna clasps his hands and is like, Gerald, what the fuck?
Hey now. I know you got some non-standard fashions there, but we still got a little bit of decorum in the vicinity. I'll thank you to keep your blue language tucked up in there with your blue hair.
Is he? So he's only going to be a threat once if we trip that thing, though? Is that what kind of Theo was cracking?
He'll be alerted if you trip that thing.
Go somewhere that we don't belong.
Yeah. Like, I will tell you that what you can tell is that he will know if you trip any of those things. He will become a threat if you, one, become a threat to the church, or two, go someplace where he doesn't want you to go.
Can I ask you, Johnny, being that like I am familiar with this magic, if we dispel one of these doorways, does he get alerted?
Not if you do it well.
Okay.
Okay, then I think Anna will just kind of like look like, because Skynet's still open, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So then Anna would communicate this to everybody via Skynet and just be like, he's like the church given a body. Those traps are gonna go off if he'll be like activated basically if we can set those traps off. So if we can deactivate them, then he will be a threat. But just heads
you get
up.
real long handshakes in the city, don't you?
Sorry, it's been so hard.
So yeah, we head to the front door and open the door.
So yeah, okay. So you walk just straight into the church. To avoid blasphemy, this is where I'm going to part ways with the truth and just describe this church as a made-up place. But I do think all churches are basically the same. So you walk in and there is a kind of atrium area, an empty, almost looks like an information desk to your right, a few piles of papers or bulletins, and then just a kind of open area to the other side, which is like there's stacked up chairs and folded up tables leaning against the wall. And then forward into the chapel, where there is long benches leading up to the sort of stage and pulpit and altar, etc. I think out here, it's Golden Valley. It's pretty lushly decorated. It's got a good deal of really nice kind of tapestries that have, just very vaguely Christian symbolism, some sunrises, some glowing hearts stitched over also glowing crosses. Not a lot of death and horror that you could expect from a Catholic church.
Mm-hmm.
They do all have a nude, bloody Jesus.
Yep.
So
accurate.
So he'll walk you in and kind of lead you to.
Oh,
yeah. Gerald's coming too. He's helping you out. He'll walk you in and he'll like sort of gesture at some pews and be like, "Any hymns or passages in specific you need me to get for you? Otherwise, I'll just bring you some basics."
Basics would be great. Like where to start?
All the good ones.
Yeah. 1 Corinthians, please.
Theo like scoots into like one of the pews. Point of information, Johnny.
Yeah.
Is there only like one way to like the basement?
Yes.
And is it through the chapel?
Yes.
Okay. I think that when Theo goes to like scoot into the pew, she like locks arms or like hand with Anna and like pulls her with her like next to her and through like Skynet. Do you think that you could do that like circle capturing spell again, but on Gerald?
No.
No? What do you mean no?
I only have a finite number of those that I can do per mystery, getting a little meta here, and I've tapped those out. But I could try a different spell, maybe. Or I was thinking I could just, use my charms and like have him pray with me or something.
Well, maybe you can.
You hear Nick over Skynet go,
"Fuck off, Nick."
Yeah, just ignore him. Maybe you could help me then. But so this is kind of my idea. And I'm thinking if we're here in the pew, clarification, Johnny, so the list of magical effects, there's one that says bar a place or portal to a specific person or type of creature, but then there's also trap a specific person, minion, or monster. If I'm wanting to ace trap Gerald, it would be the latter of that effect list, right?
Yes, you would have to have someplace to trap him, though.
Let's bring him in the library. If they had a library. I don't know.
Okay, I was just asking that because the barring a place is what Theo's best at. I guess kind of like what Anna did previously, if there's a way to, I guess almost like supernatural style, etch something into this pew, and then maybe we run outside the other side, and maybe hopefully Gerald like follows us and like activates that rune and traps him. I don't know. Up for debate.
So as mentioned, the way that you were the kind of thing that you were talking about doing, Anna doesn't have any more of that in her. Like,
yeah, well, I'm just wondering if Theo would be able to. Because one of the magical effects is trapping a person. I mean, I guess a different idea could be, because usually Lutheran churches at the front have like the velvet kneeling part.
Yeah, no, I was quite literally thinking Anna would be like, would you pray with me? And would just be the distraction for you guys as you go downstairs.
Well, I was also kind of wondering like if Theo would be, I mean, instead Theo could maybe like use the barring a person and like barring him from that part of the church, but I don't know.
Well, to sort of set things up just a little bit, this might play into your decision making. He is going to leave the chapel.
He was going to go find a book
through a door that can close to find some books to bring you, such that you can do a little impromptu Bible study.
So you can maybe bar him from entering this area.
Okay, do you want me to bar him from this place?
Let's do it.
Okay. I think Theo will... Is the door closed or is it like propped open?
Well, he's heading through it right now.
Well, when he leaves. So let's just click closed.
Yeah.
Okay. Theo will like cut her finger and I think draw some Greek letters that would spell out like lock. Use magic to bar him from entering the chapel.
Okay. Roll that.
That's a 7.
Pick a glitch.
I think Theo's going to take 1 harm.
So you do that, you cast it, you sort of place your hand on it. The blood that you had written sort of burns up. And then it also, you can see like the cut that you made on your finger also burns up and like cauterizes. Something inside you also sort of burns up and you take that 1 harm.
All right, let's go find this thing and then deactivate it. And then let's go down.
Yeah, we should deactivate the next door.
Okay, so the next thing that has a signal threshold will be the stairs leading downstairs. So you are able to get into the sort of back room.
Question for the team. Do we want to leave like Nick, Tommy, and Yano hit it or like in here in case?
Might not be a bad idea. Have them deal with the golem again.
Maybe. What do you guys think?
I think let's just have him come with us.
I was going to say, it might be more of a problem than
Let's just have them come with us because if he does break through there, then he'll just probably come downstairs anyway. So let's all just be together.
Okay. So you're saying the next door into the stairwell.
Yes. And there is not a door on this door. It's just a doorway that leads down into some stairs. But you can tell that there is like the humming, smoky red energy of this threshold barrier.
Okay. Could I use force of will to dispel it?
Sure. I mean, probably. Of note, this will only disrupt it temporarily.
Will it, even though it's a 13 advanced move?
Well, it's not an advanced move, you see.
Damn it. Yeah. Still 13.
Congraturitos. Well, what you get with that is you can spend a point of luck to instantly snuff out a powerful spell or strange effect. Otherwise...
Does that mean just this door or all of them?
Is there more than one or is it just one?
Oh, there's lots.
Oh.
So if I use a luck of point, if I use a point of luck...
A luck of point!
Would it be just this doorway or would it be all of them?
It would be all of them.
Okay. I'm going to use a luck point.
Okay. So yeah, Theo kind of bends down, hold her hands over the threshold in between you and the stairs. And then this explosion of light and energy sort of rips throughout the entire church. A swell of music. And you can see no more of those energy signatures.
We should be good from now on with all the doorways.
Cool. Let's fucking get these bones. Or bone. Just one bone, right? It's just her head? Just a skull?
Yeah, let's get the bone.
Let's get boned.
God damn it.
Yeah. So you rush down the hallway, rush down the stairs.
Yep.
Okay. You rush down the stairs. You go down, and then there's a landing, and then it's one of those things that it spins around, and then you can go the rest of the way. When you hit the landing, you can hear some animated talking coming from below. all men and women, all of a certain age. It's kind of just a din, but they're arguing.
Mm-hmm. What sort of words do we hear them saying?
You hear words like anymore and still and faith. Do you want to roll read a bad situation?
Yes.
Okay.
This is Kira. BT dubs. And she rolled a 15 advance move.
Gee, creepy.
What precisely are they saying?
So, 1, there are 13 of them, 6 men and 7 women. The conflict in question is whether they are truly under attack. Some of them claim to be the survivors of a roadside incident, which others are, you can hear someone say, could have been road rage. We don't know. They shot fire. Some of them are sort of listing names and saying, why haven't we heard from this person? Why haven't we heard from that person? They're trying to figure out where they stand.
So hear me out. What if Kira transforms Anna to look like Gerald?
Anna can just do that with that blooming silence.
Yeah, that too. I forget how we do it. And like go into the room and tell them that like maybe they're under attack. And can we tell where, or can Theo or Mark tell where in the room the bone is?
I bet I could probably see the residue based on the bones that I saw previously.
You both certainly can.
I'm wondering if it's on a person or if it's in...
like in a room or something. Or...
Yes, there is definitely sort of...
They also need to get the heat sink, by the way.
As you were to spin around, the downstairs that go down into this chamber, it opens up into just a long rectangular conference room. At the far end of that room, there is, I guess, covered pedestal. It's like a cabinet that there's like a box with cupboard doors on the front of it.
Like maybe where they put the goblets for the communion.
Kind of tabernacle adjacent, because I don't know if Lutheran churches have a tabernacle.
So we could just maybe skirt around these people completely and at least get the bone.
Maybe. I honestly think we go with maybe Mark transforms into that thing again and scares them the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Or we conjure something else that like scares them the fuck out of here. They are under attack. They should leave right now.
So I'm clear, because you rolled like crazy.
Yeah, because what do I get? Something free, bonus information.
I'm just giving you a ton of shit is what I'm giving you, because there's not a lot of mysterious business, so to speak, down here. There are these 13 people. There is the cupboard at the end of the room. So you are entering basically into long rectangular conference room that goes deeper than it does wide. Don't you dare. And in the center, there is a conference table around which there are maybe 12 chairs. That's all there is down here. There's no other way in or out.
So there's no sneaking around. Okay.
Yeah, there's no sneaking around. And if you go down there to scare them, they're going to have to run past you to escape.
Okay.
Yeah. Is there any way we don't have any ability or way to figure out where the treasure machine is, huh?
Could I use one of my questions to ask that? Where is it, the treasure machine, with my read about situation?
No, I will tell you that like on either wall that's sort of adjacent to where the cupboard is, the cupboard itself is pressed up against a flat wall. Basically, there's a pair of closets on the other side of the room, opposite one another, just on the edge of the side walls. You presume that if it's here anywhere, it's in there, in one of those. You don't have any real signal to go off of, though.
Are you guys okay if Kira just does something?
Yeah, do your shit.
What do you have in mind?
Could you be less specific?
I think she kind of wants to just try to see if she can fucking talk some sense into these people, being an ex-cultist herself.
All right, but if shit hits the fan, Mark is going full demon.
Let's try getting them maybe to just fucking surrender before we resort to like any violence.
Yeah, no, I agree. How can we back you up?
Honestly, look threatening as fuck.
Oh, I can do that.
Okay.
I think Mark hulks out again.
Theo makes herself look as gray and pale as possible and both of her eyes gray.
Are you going to show your eye of Andragoras?
Oh, I have been.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, this whole time, like, my eye's been gray, my hand's been gray, but my left hand, the ring finger's there.
What's the scariest looking monster you think we've seen so far, Johnny? Something that, like, Anna could feasibly, like, turn herself into using, like, the booming silence.
I'm happily not going to help you with that. The one other thing that I want to point out that I realized that I haven't properly explained is that I do think that down here, all the finery is Thugamon themed. But it's also, it pleases me to point out, kind of crappy. Real handmade, felt on felt stitching shit where you can tell there's like you're like, I guess that's kind of what he looked like. The horns are a little bit just straight up triangles, but that's the guy, sure.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Anna would just make herself look like fucking like Traxxas, horned creature.
Okay.
Like a little ogre.
Okay. Roll it.
10.
The group of you watch Anna grow a full foot taller. All of her skin turns blue. She grows some like foot long twisted horns from the front of her face and a probably 7 foot tail.
I feel like we're all watching this and then everyone just looks at the tail as it like goes out. It's like, what?
Nick and Tommy look at each other with like yeah, it's not bad.
All right. I think Anna maybe looks around and is like, let's scare the fuck out of these guys.
So, point of information. Anna's going to go down and scare them. All the rest of you who are in this stairwell, where are you going to go?
We're just like backing up Kira. Like we're the thugs and Kira's the leader.
Kira might try talking to them if they like try into our intent on sticking around, but if it doesn't work to just fucking scare them out of here, then we can try talking to them.
Jonny, would Theo, when we go in there, would Theo be able to create a like dark thundercloud, or what might be kind of cool is like, you know, when you look up like galaxy photos and just if Theo could create one of those that makes you feel so small and like useless and impending.
Something cosmic?
Yeah.
Like a nebula cloud?
Yeah, I want to create something like that, like in the middle above the table when we go in.
Roll use magic.
12.
Okay. As I understand it, the very first thing that happens is the lights down here go out, and they are quickly replaced with the intense illumination of this sea of stars that manifests itself on the ceiling and part of the top of the walls in this conference room. Every single person inside that conference room stops talking and looks up in confusion and wonder. The next thing that starts to cast some illumination onto the scene is the flaming wings that are coming out of Mark Clayton's back. They all look towards him and see Mark Clayton, eyes ablaze, wings also ablaze, skin cracked and terrifying and monstrous, along with a 6.5 foot tall, horned-tailed ogre. Is that all, or is anyone else presenting themselves?
Kira's there too. She just has her wings out, I think. Yeah.
Okay. Winged Kira.
Theo's just as gray can be, I guess.
Okay. Theo walking out, one dead eye, one gray hand, raw power emanating off of her. Nick and Tommy and Yano, heavily armed, also there. Essentially as a horizontal line between them and their only hope of escape. Of note also, all of these people are dressed in street clothes. There are a couple of discarded robes sort of on the floor on the way in, some draped over some chairs. But all of these people are middle-aged to elderly, and one of the sort of stronger seeming guys on the far end of the table, bald man with a horseshoe of hair and a big bushy graying beard, stands up, doing his best to appear threatening and authoritative. And he says, "What is the meaning of this? No one's supposed to be allowed down here."
Can Anna just like yell like in her best like demonic type voice and just like, "Sit."
He sits. Yeah, I'm not even going to make you roll that. This is good.
I think Anna's going to start like just walking around the room and like just opening the closets. She's like just almost tearing the doors off. Yeah. Where is it?
Why didn't it stop you? Are you blind? This is another prince, a version of our Lord, a shadow of our Lord. This is blasphemy. That's what this is.
Enough! And I think Mark has his sword out and he just like clanks it to or like chinks it to the ground. I don't know. He just kind of locks in place.
They are all frozen and seated.
Where is it?
They all look at each other.
Do I see it on one of them?
What are you looking for? So if what you are looking for, Mark, is the other bones.
The bones.
You know where it is. It's in
the cabinet on the far end. But if you say, where is it? They'll look at each other, then at you. And then another 60-year-old woman will just go, what?
Treasure machine.
They'll look at each other, panicked now. And someone in a very small voice will go, did he send you?
Mark, I think Theo's gonna, not act as aggressive as you guys. I'd like her, if you guys don't mind, to go and get the remaining bone.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I kind of want Theo to move as almost quietly and gliding as possible.
Roll act under pressure because it's fun.
Damn it. Fuck you.
Theo trips and falls.
Can Kira help out by kind of addressing this group and trying to give her some distraction?
Please.
Because I think she would address the group.
I think you can. I think that won't help.
Okay.
Fuck. 6.
Yeah, I'm good with that. You kind of are moving through this group. Kira and Anna and Mark are trying to hold their attention and keep them terrified. Nick and Tommy and Yano are just brandishing. Right as you walk past one of the smaller female congregation members, as soon as you're sort of past her and she's out of your line of vision, you can sense more than see her frantically stand up, bolt to the wall, and just start knocking on it frantically.
I was going to say, I think Anna stomps towards her and pushes the woman against the wall and is like,
wrong decision.
A hand presses out from the wall.
Oh no.
What kind of hand?
Just a normal guy's hand, joined quickly by another hand, and then a face starts to press out from it. And then as it pushes out, you can see a unibrow begin to furrow and form on the top of it, and then a bad haircut, and then a shirt sort of stitches itself together out of the fabric from the wall, and it looks like somewhere between a security guard and a janitor. And then Gerald steps out from the wall, and the first thing he does, Anna, put a hand on your forearm to pull you away from the woman you're pinning to the wall.
I think she might shove him back.
I'm going to have that be kick some ass.
11.
Effortlessly. You throw him back. One thing I want to point out, he grabs your forearm, he looks at you. As you sort of make your move, it's he kind of holds you in place for a second, then he kind of breaks eye contact for just a second. You see his unibrow furrow in concern a little bit, and then you chuck him across the room.
Question. The spell barrier that Theo had laid before, that doesn't affect him from getting there?
You kept him out of the chapel.
Okay. Yeah, once that happens, would Theo be able to run to the bone?
Oh, happily. Roll act under pressure again.
It's a 13. Oh, also, it's an advanced move.
Yeah, so you run towards it. I almost think it's Spidey sense, where you stop and duck, and Gerald flies over top of you. And then you run and do a couple of steps off the wall to get over him and throw open the doors of this cabinet. And then, inside there's a couple of holy seeming books, a couple of definitely handwritten seeming books, disheveled journals. Oh, this is troubling, but I like it. A bowl of fingernails, and then a human skull.
Can Theo grab the skull and then those notebooks and writings?
Sure. Darn you and your advanced movery.
Kira might speak to who was it one of these people kind of seemed like they were in charge? Was it the guy that Anna had said sit down?
The bald bearded man at the head of the table.
I think Kira would look at the man and say, "We came for the treasure machine. Your prince has fallen. He is no more."
Kira, roll manipulate someone.
10.
I'm going to say I have some bad news, but some good news is what I'm going to do to you. This man, tears welling up in his eyes, not a prince, a king, and he will never fall. And then all of the rest of these people in just as shaky voices doing their best approximation of what must have been a thing they did. They all go, he will never fall. And then Gerald, standing up, pull one of the tapestries from the wall and look around at everybody and go, what the heck? Who's this guy? And then grab one of the people and be like, you telling me this is what you guys are doing down here? Is that a dang skull? You got dead stuff down here?
There's also a bowl of nails.
That's just gross. He picks up one of the guys by his collar. He's like, answer me. And then shoves the guy's face into the tapestry and is like, that's horns. That's horns there. Is that devil horns? Huh? throws him to the ground, storms over to the guy who's in charge. It's like, this why you didn't want me down here?
This is the sort of creepy shit that you get into if you follow cults.
Gerald looks at you, eyes wide. His monobrow furrows down into a wide uppercase V of anger. And he gets right in this old man's face and screams at him, a dang cult!
And I think Mark, as he's doing that, he's just like, and we thought you were one of them.
The walls shake with his words. And then, not taking his eyes off the eyes of this guy, Gerald is going to say, you tell them where to find what they're looking for. You tell them now. The guy very shakily will point to the closet to his right.
Can Theo run to it?
Inside it's also messy. There's a bunch of folding chairs, hung up robes, folded robes, small curved knives. In my head, this thing looks like a butter churn. I don't know why. It's a 18-inch cylinder that's about 4 to 6 inches around with a 2-foot, I guess, handle, like a post coming out of the top of it. And it is a pale gray, except for the cylinder itself just has these sort of ribs going vertically, dividing it into quadrants, if that makes sense. Beyond which it is a very flat, matte black.
Could Theo take the knives with her entropy magic, unweave the robes, and then I want to take the treasure machine to Kira.
Roll use magic to do the first thing.
6.
Okay. Theo, will you roll for me a naked D6?
6.
So you send out this energy to go towards those robes, but it doesn't go where it's supposed to. And you can see it sort of bounce off and whip around and kind of go over your shoulder and behind you. And all of the rest of you see this guy at the head of this table. All of his clothes start to dissolve.
Oh.
And so, yeah, you got a naked old man at the head of the table.
I think she just kind of puts her hand over her eyes and then just gestures to the table and is like, this is what cult worship does. This is not the way.
Okay. So then Theo takes the heat sink.
And the knives. And I'll bring the heat sink to Kira.
I don't even know how well I can
It's surprisingly
carry it.
light. You can kind of just wield it. But,
okay, I've got it then.
And I mean, it's not big like a butter churn. It's just kind of in the shape of the butter churn. It's.
Then I think Kira just looks to the rest of them and is like, I suggest you guys all find an actual support group and not a cult to deal with whatever shit you guys are going through, because your cult has been responsible for murders. And unless...
Murders?
Yes, Gerald, murders. You might want to scram before I call the cops and get all of your asses arrested.
Gerald's going to straighten up and turn to look at you. Render unto Caesar that which is Caesar's, and unto the Lord that which is the Lord's. You're not going to want to be around for the next part.
Can Theo whisper to Kira? I know that I'm not supposed to, and I thought that I would ask your permission, but I could try and erase the idea of Thugamon from their memory?
No.
Okay.
They should live with their mistakes, Theo. And then Kira looks at these followers. What kind of prince would ask you to murder in his name? He is a false prince. He's a false king.
Someone will sort of speak up and go, well, technically it was the undying soldier who, and then a fist will hit him in the face as Gerald backhands him.
I think Kira will grab the heatsink, make sure that Theo's got the bone, and say, we're going to leave now. If I catch any sort of whiff of what you guys have done here today happening again, cops will be the last of your concerns. And then I think Kira will turn around to leave. I think just for good measure, Anna's going to slam one of the cabinets.
Yeah.
I do want the cosmos that is above the table to slowly dim and die out as we leave.
And then I think we'll head back to the graveyard to deal with Sonoma.
Mm-hmm. As the last one of you steps onto the stairwell, the ceiling drops some kind of wall down, basically cutting off this basement room.
Gerald's going to deal with them.
Ah, I see.
So you guys are going to leave, take the stuff, head back to the graveyard.
We have all of her bones now, so I think it's a question of what does she/Dockers want to do with her? I mean, we can break the hypnosis on her, probably first order, and then if we can have her pass on, or if she wants to just stay as a ghost, what does Daughters want to do? So I think we'd head to the cemetery to talk through that.
Okay. You get to the cemetery without incident. I think it is now well and truly midnight.
Can we break the hypnosis, or is it broken? If we have all of the bones together, I don't know if that makes a difference.
So...
Because that's what you had said, that was pretty much how they were controlling her, was through hypnosis.
Yes.
And there was something like that they had corrupted in her. Could we fix that somehow, or remove that corruption somehow?
Mark can.
What does he need to do it?
I think it's honestly a simpler version of the sort of control rods, the like anchors. She is corrupted somewhere within herself. It is going to be something that you will have to go into her mind to do. I mean, it's just, there's a matter of, well, you're the witch's boy, Mark.
The song. Jazz's song.
Oh, that makes so much more sense now. The Bride of the Smoker.
Oh.
The Smokers of Dockers.
Sounds like a dream dive.
Does sound like a dream dive.
Well, I don't know if there's anything that like Anna could do to help, but she'd maybe try to do like if something with like her ether touch could assist somehow.
I was going to say, I wonder if that would help.
To help you get into this, because I mean, she's removed corruption from Theo before with that was like dead life. I don't know if this is exactly the same thing, but it seems related. Maybe Anna would maybe try to assist somehow, but I mean, it sounds like we just have to get her into her head, unless we can all go in there. But
maybe I could go in and you guys monitor.
Yeah, we could try that. Could Anna try to do? Would anything that Anna's ether touch be able to assist him somehow? Could she roll like a help out or something, or to like help maybe pull whatever this corruption is out somehow?
Would Catrielle know? Does she have some innate ability that we don't know about? She seems to have a lot of tricks up her sleeve.
I do want to play this as a dream dive because I think that makes the most sense, that you have to go sort of behind the screen here, that like it makes the most sense to me versus having this be just a set of rolls to cleanse. I'm going to make this be a scene, like be the rest of this adventure. Like you're going to go in, we'll run it as though it's a physical space. So you'll go in and then stuff will happen and then challenges will come up and you'll have to beat them.
I think we maybe go in. Let's just all go in and deal with it together. And hopefully we can, whatever we face in there, we just do it together.
What if something happens? Someone's got to be able to pull us out.
Well, then somebody can stay behind.
Theo's going to stay behind.
You sure?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go through.
How did we do this whole dream dive thing again?
Well, Tommy.
I know how to do it with living people. So he can set everything up, but in order to make the link, it's going to be a Mark use magic roll.
Yeah. You're going to have to connect to her telepathically.
Functionally, Mark, you will be the host of the dream.
Okay. So everyone hold hands.
Everyone holds hands. Everyone sits down.
All right. Everyone focus.
Some words are spoken by the Sparks brothers. Some runes are drawn. Some herbs are burnt.
And I think Mark kicks in his telepathy. Everyone is connected. And then he just kind of, as it happens in surgery, you just kind of go under.
Mark, roll use magic.
Double ones.
From your lips to God's ears, my friend. AKA me.
Why did I say what I said?
John.
Why did I say what I said?
Was Anna able to help in any way?
Why did I say
with her ether touch type stuff?
Can I roll help out? Can somebody roll out? Help?
Anna can roll help out.
I got a 6.
Okay, yes. Anna would like to assist.
It's a high F.
Thank God. Okay, Anna rolled a 12 advanced move to help out.
Okay, so Mark rolled a 12.
It's been a while since Mark has ever done this.
Bless your silly ass. I mean, it does please me to have the entrance be Mark's brain, which means so you all find yourselves the edge of a forest that gives way to a beach with a tropical bar, like a hammock or two. Dockers is there, and you just are all also there. Everyone who came with, which I think is just Kira and Anna at this point. Is that right?
I think so, yeah. It sounds like Theo's staying back, and I would imagine Tommy and Nick probably are too.
And Yano, yeah.
Catrell's coming for sure. Catrell is there. Nick and Tommy have to be there to sustain the spell, and Yano and Theo would stay outside. Yano would stay with Theo. Okay.
Dockers, you want to join us on this one?
He's going to reach into his hemp vest and pull out a Civil War era curved sword. Wild horses couldn't keep me away, man. There is a light-rimmed doorway into somewhere else with wet grass on the other side of it. And because it was a 12 advanced move, Dockers will not run off on his own. And he'll just like walk up to the sort of doorway and turn back to you, Mark, and nod meaningfully.
Mark nods right back and then signals to everybody else, let's go.
You step on in and you find yourselves stepping into a clearing at Boom Island Park. The sky seems red and angry. A little ways ahead of you, you can see the like shine of a hole in the air, and running past it goes a young woman being pursued by several robed and masked figures, and they go past and beyond your sight. What do you do?
Could Anna maybe like use her spirit touched ability to figure out maybe where the source of the corruption is?
Sure.
She rolled a 12.
I have accidental themes, you guys. It's the masks themselves on the robed figures. Each of them has a knife that looks a lot like the ones that Theo took from the closet.
Do these masks have tethers on them at all?
So if we can remove the masks, presumably that could like, or destroy the masks, like presumably that would remove the corruption that's within Sonoma.
Yeah.
Okay, then I think Anna will point after where they kind of ran off to and say, well, it's the masks. If we can get them off of those people and destroy them, I think that will get rid of whatever corruption's in here.
As you are explaining that, two things happen in surprisingly rapid succession. Not exactly one after the other, but one happens and you are like, huh? And then the other happens. The first thing that happens is you hear a desperate scream and a number of squishy, slashing, stabbing noises. And then you hear a similar scream coming from the other side of the clearing, and then you see the same young woman run past the same direction, pursued by the same group of masked figures.
So there's like, it's just happening over and over again?
That's a reasonable assumption.
Can I read a bad situation on whether or not that's the case?
I would love you to read a bad situation.
8.
You asked one question.
How do we disable the masks?
She has to destroy them.
And she's being chased right now. Is there like another version of her anywhere in here, or is it just that version of her?
If I'm the one that's to save her, though, like,
if you can talk to her, maybe you can maybe soothe or something.
Well, I was gonna say maybe she can't do anything unless we stop whatever's happening in this vicious cycle or something like that, so that she can get a hold of the situation, if that makes sense.
If we could get the masks, then maybe she can destroy them.
Something along those lines, or we just interrupt this cycle.
I think I want to revise that. I want to retcon my answer gently.
Your answer of what?
Of how to get rid of the corruption. Because I do think I like the idea. It is the masks that is anchoring the corruption. But the corruption itself has calcified into the form of the figures themselves. So to destroy the masks, i.e. the anchors, well, that's as simple as fire. You have to burn them. What she will have to deal with, though, she will have to expel the figures themselves. I will tell you, this is going to make me very sad.
Okay. So step 1, let's get the masks off these fucking fuckers.
Okay.
Do we have like our weapons and stuff like in this mind thing, or is it just ourselves, or like...
Mark rolled well enough that you were able to bring yourselves in exactly as you imagine yourselves in the real world.
Okay. Then I think Kira, hearing all of this, will kind of just like heft her axe up, and we'll see this group like running past again, and then she's just gonna like take after one.
Yeah.
And she's gonna try to take one of these like to put him like down on the ground into like a prone position so that she can maybe rip off the mask herself or something, or have Mark burn it. I don't know.
I want to know what Mark wants to do, and then I'm going to have Kira roll kick some ass.
Kira can roll kick some ass first, and then I'll say.
That is just 7.
Is Mark able to target the masks as they're running with fire magic? Or is that an act under pressure and magic roll?
I think it would, like, you want to just sort of like select all.
Well, actually just one of these guys first. Oh, I mean, if I can do all of them, yeah, but I mean, I feel like that's a lot of rolls.
Yeah, doing that would be 2 rolls, but if you just want to like blast fire into one of the masks and burn it up.
Yeah, I think I'll target one.
That would just be a use magic roll. So while that's happening, Kira, you run in and you are able to like bury your axe into one of these things' shoulders and tackle it. But as you're bringing it down, it will slash at you with its curved dagger, which will do 2 harm, but one of which will fully ignore your armor.
I roll a 13.
Yes, you did. So Kira takes one of these things down. I will tell you I think I didn't tell you yet, there are 4 of them. Kira takes one of them down and has it pinned. Mark burns the mask off of another one, and it brings both of its hands over its face and sort of stops and bends forward in pain and anguish.
Anna would probably go after another one. Could she take the mask off by using ether touch or something? Or
Not at the speed they're going. You would have to do something else. Ether touch requires too much concentration.
Well, then she would just attack one, I think, with her staff. Yeah.
Roll that.
Fuck, Anna. 12 advanced move. She always kicks ass.
Damn. What advanced advantage are you going to take? Grievous harm, no harm at all? Drive the enemy away in a rout? I would allow that this time.
Would that be what we want, though, in this instance?
No, which is why I would allow it.
Yeah. That makes no sense. I think, for the purposes of what she's trying to do, she's trying to get the mask off. Would grievous harm achieve that? Or did Kira take the mask off of one of them, or no? It's just to hurt them.
No, you just got it down.
If I did grievous harm, would it get the mask off so that Mark could destroy it, or no?
With the staff, I would allow for it to crack the mask and sort of make it easier to get off with, say, an act under pressure roll.
Okay, I'll do that then. Make it easier for...
Okay, Anna comes through, baseball bat, swings her staff at one of these things and clocks it right in the forehead, and a crack goes down 1/2 of that particular mask. For her part, Catrell dives into the melee, shoves her spear into the chest of one of these things, and just kind of has it pinned.
Thank you, Catriel. And then I think Mark comes in and basically puts a hand on the mask and flames it.
I think I will allow that to just happen because Mark places a hand on this mask, shoves fire into it. The mask burns up and disintegrates. And behind the mask is the face of Dockers.
Oh.
Dockers! Wait, what?
I'm as confused as you, man.
What is this character doing?
Struggling against the spear buried into his chest. The one who was gripping his face pulls his hands away and starts looking around for his dropped dagger. He also has Docker's face. Sonoma, for her part, has fallen sort of on cue to where she would have been when they would have descended on her and started stabbing her, but is just crab walking backwards from the group of you.
Kira might try to maybe get another one in position so that Mark could burn it by choke holding it maybe.
Okay. I'll call that act under pressure.
12 advanced move.
I will say with that, you can put him in the chokehold and even shift your axe in such a way as to pry the mask off, kick it across the floor to come to rest right at Mark's feet.
Okay. And then there's just the one left that is cracked, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Mark just puts his foot on it and it disintegrates it into ash. Just
yes, it does.
Can Anna try to rip that other one off then, since she had cracked it?
Yeah, I think same deal. You pop it off, push this person down who also has Docker's face, and then take both halves of this mask and then fling them to Mark. We'll cut back to the waking world, and Theo, Yano, Tommy, and Nick all see as though there's a confusing nightmare going on. You can see the bodies sort of twitching and all of their faces scrunching up in concern. Theora, you are aware that something weird is happening in there.
I think Kira might look to Mark. We need to get through to Sonoma. She needs to get rid of these things. Could I use monster empathy to figure out maybe what would be the best way to help Sonoma or get through to her?
I think Mark is gonna try to use soothe with her to calm her down. At least.
I think that's fair.
I rolled a 13.
Okay.
So I'm wondering, I get 2 questions, 2 holds. Could I ask, what does it most desire?
You mean Sonoma?
Yeah.
Freedom and safety?
Mm-hmm. And I don't know. The other 2 questions that I can ask is what would it accept as good enough for now and what would distract it? I don't know which would make more sense to ask in this instance. My intent with using this was what could be used to kind of convince Sonoma that you need to get rid of these entity in you. I'm wondering if what would it accept as good enough for now maybe, if that would good enough for now as in reason for convincing her.
Reason for change, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the answer to the question, what will it accept is good enough for now, or what will distract it, in either case, the answer is Dockers himself. The real Dockers.
Having Dockers speak to her. Okay. Then I think Kira would look to Mark and be like, I think she's trapped in this moment. I think she needs to talk to Dockers, the real Dockers. Know that that's not him. That's just a mirage.
For his part, Dockers is sort of looking at the faces of all these clones of himself and like waving a hand in front of them. They are all singularly fixed. The ones that aren't desperately trying to escape some kind of a hold are fixated on Sonoma. They're after her.
Mm-hmm. Where is Sonoma?
Like maybe 10, 15 feet away from you, just crab walking backwards.
In fear?
Yes.
Kind of thing?
Terrified.
And he was going to use soothe on her. Does that work?
Run/walk over.
Okay.
Sonoma, it's okay.
That just straight up works. Between the way that you're talking, the fact that you're using her name that she likes, she kind of looks back and forth between you and the robed Dockers.
We're here to help.
Her face is streaked with tears. She looks at you and is like, but you can't help. They killed me.
None of this is happening.
They kill me over and over. They kill me every time.
Well, we're here to stop that now.
You can bring it to an end.
It can be over right now. These Dockers, these aren't, this isn't the real Dockers.
Mark, roll manipulate someone.
11.
What do you mean the real Dockers? Are you saying that this isn't real? And then Dockers does come up from behind you.
This is the real Dockers.
Hey, babe. Been a while, huh? She looks at him, and her face cracks into a mask of fury. She stands up and gets right in his face. Where were you? You as good as killed me. I was scared. I thought you were behind me. You were behind me. You left me behind. That's where I was. I'm right where you left me, Dockers. This is going to go on for a minute until you guys stop it.
Sonoma, Dockers came into here to stop this because he cares about you. He's here for you.
Why do you think he's still here, Sonoma?
He wouldn't be here if he didn't care.
I don't know, because he escaped and survived.
No, I mean, why do you think he's a ghost?
And then he open up his ghostly hemp vest and reveal a still pretty fresh set of wounds in his chest. I didn't make it out either. She'll tremblingly reach forward to touch them, Doubting Thomas style. Looking basically everywhere but at his face, she's going to be like, you don't know what it was like. Over and over. They followed me, they chased me down, and I died again and again. That's what it was like for me too, with you being gone. The other Dockerses that are being held back by you guys, I think, are still zombie style, reaching forward.
Sonoma, you're the only one that can kill them. You have to make the choice to stop all of this.
You can be free.
And then I think Dockers is going to put a hand under her chin and bring her head up to look at him. Don't you remember? I wasn't chasing after you. You were following behind me. And he points in the opposite direction. And then there's another shining Dockers reaching his hand back. And then she turns back to the robed Dockers figures, stands up, and walks over to them. She looks at Dockers. She looks at you, Mark. She looks at these other guys, and she goes, I have a boyfriend. And that voice just ripples through them and shatters them. On the other side of this, there is a lot of the characteristic smoke you've come to recognize as typifying the realm of there. Mark, roll read a bad situation.
14.
Yeah, you see, kind of through this smoke hazily, what you see is a never-ending carpet of water and in the distance, these very large and grand structures composed of coral. Standing sort of in what you'd consider to be the foreground is a figure who you do recognize as Thugamon on the other side of this portal to there. But very distantly, you can see a larger and much more regal form that seems to be at the top of one of these coral towers. And you can tell that just for a second, he looks your way, he sees what's going on, instantly understands all of it, and sort of permits it to continue. The other thing that I want to tell you is that larger, more regal figure that you saw at the top of the coral tower is missing one of his eyes.
Oh, okay.
Isn't that a weird coincidence?
Meanwhile, Dockers and Sonoma embrace. The lights of this place start to turn way up. The angry red sky turns instead a blinding white. And for a moment, none of you can see anything until you all wake up on the ground of Gethsemane Cemetery.
Dockers, you in there? Dockers?
Yeah, man. I'm here.
Sonoma still in the cemetery?
Lying down on the ground, there remains a purple ghostly form of Sonoma. She wakes up and sits up and kind of looks around low-key frantically.
I was just gonna say, I think Anna would go over to the circle because she's still contained in the circle, and maybe just kind of give her a once-over and be like, Sonoma?
I think Mark reaches his hand out.
Where did he go?
He's right here. And I think Mark gives him his body.
All right. You will feel her, cold, smoky, not exactly physical hand grab yours and also sort of take Docker's smoky, ghostly, not quite physical hand. It feels weird. It feels like very cold water pouring on your hand in very slow motion. But she grabs your hand, and you feel your face contort into a distinctly Dockers-esque facial expression. And the two of you smile. A dopey, guileless, stoner smile.
Anna will break the circle and free her.
Well, there's a lot of space in here, so if you want to tag along with us, you can.
Do you mean in your car?
I mean, you could kind of... no. Dockers, you explain.
Hey man, I don't really get it that much myself either.
Dockers occupies my headspace, and he's hanging out. And sure you could use a partner up there.
Roll manipulate someone.
Double sixes. Ka-ching.
Nice.
I do think there is a moment where she's like, I mean, I don't know if I'm ready to live with somebody, but...
just think of it like staying in a tent.
Oh, so like a sort of ambulatory road trip.
You could say that. It's got some perks.
Okay. She'll sort of stand up and face off against you and be like, I can't promise this won't be weird. And just take a couple of steps towards you and just inside your body.
Now you have green and purple smoke at your disposal.
In the movie version of this, I like to think that he's cleaned up the place and everything, and it's just as a stoner hippie would clean up a place,
Okay. Well, with that, I think the sun will set on your evening. You will all be free to go home, and then I think we're going to probably pan to the fireplace and say executive producer Jonny Grubb.
This has been The Monsters Playbook, featuring
Detjen-Wander as Mark Clayton,
Lauren Johnson as Anna and Kira Ashwood,
Miah Detjen-Wander as Theo Nessos,
and Jonny Grubb as literally everybody else. Our theme song is by me, Jonny Grubb. The Monsters Playbook is produced and engineered by Miah Detjen-Wander and edited by Miah Detjen-Wander and Lauren Johnson. If you like this episode, please tell a friend. We love friends. You can find the Monsters Playbook on the social network of your choice. We are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, and Blue Sky. You can also hang out with us on our Discord. And if you like what we're doing, please consider supporting us on Patreon. We'll see you next episode where, as always, I'll have some good news and some bad news. Thanks for listening.
Okay. So yeah, Mark continues up to this place, and he's just gonna peek a crack up at the window. I'm gonna use my words differently there. Mark is going to
Why? I think it was fine. So
Mark is going to
peek a crack.
just peek a crack. And if you get too tired after all that peeking, slap the pillow.
Mark is going to look around the coping of the window to see if anyone. Hold on a minute. I need a minute.
Yeah.
Did he crack